Hi all. Today, the module 5, the topic is medium access control layer and the radio link control layer overview. So before entering into the in brief discussion about this MAC and RLC overlayer, let us know what do you mean by MAC and what is MAC. Actually already we have discussed all those things, just we will have a throwback of it. So MAC is nothing but medium access control layer. Basically it provides radio resource allocation service. Okay, and here the data transfer service will be happen to the upper layers. And if you come to the radio link control layer, it is a layer 2. It is coming under as layer 2, and here this RLC is used in UMTS as well as in LTE. So this RLC is used as a radio link protocol in UMTS, and in LTE we are using it as a air interface. So these are the two differences which we have discussed with the RLC. So the layer we are using in LTE is as a air interface. Let us go for the brief introduction of this. First we'll see the MAC RLC overview. Okay, so here this medium access control layer as well as the radio link control layer. So here it is having some close interaction between these two layers. Okay, now if we see the radio link layer, based on the size, okay, this RLC layer perform a segmentation operation on the PDCP packet data unit. Okay, and also it reorders the RLC packet data units. Here then this RLC sublayer is supports the automatic repeat request mechanism. We are all aware about that ARQ mechanism, which is we are using in downlink channel processing, uplink channel processing, and this RLC layer will support for the ARQ mechanism. Here there will be a transmitter entity as well as the receiver entity. At the transmitter and the receiver we are using only one RLC entity per radio bearer. Then if you come for the MAC layer, that is nothing but here also this MAC layer, it performs the multiplexing and demultiplexing of logical channels onto the transport channels. Okay, so this MAC layer we already discussed, that is nothing but it provides the radio resource allocation service. So this MAC layer will work on the three modes. There are three different types of mode is there. One is data transfer mode, another one is and the data transfer mode is categorized into three. That is transparent mode, that is abbreviated as TM. Another one is unacknowledgement mode, that is UM. Acknowledgement mode is AM. First we will see this data transfer modes, that is transparent mode. Here in this transparent mode, here that RLC entity never add any RLC header to the packet data unit. Okay, so because of this there will be a no data segmentation process. And in this transparent mode, the services, some services are there which they need transmission, and some services which do not need any retransmission. So this transparent mode is used by the services which do not need the retransmission. And here the most important thing is this broadcast system message and the paging message will use this transparent mode, and this transparent mode is not used for the user plane data transmission. So these all are the some of the basic specifications of the transparent mode. Then coming to the TMD PDU, here it is mentioned as TMD PDU. That is nothing but whenever that, for example, the transparent mode RLC entity delivers a RLC data PDU. That is called as TMD PDU. That is the RLC entity delivers a RLC data PDU. That particular data PDU is called the transparent mode protocol data unit. And the next, followed by this transparent mode, let us see a mode that is unacknowledgement mode, which is represented by QM. So this unacknowledgement mode, we all know that hybrid automatic request process will happen in the medium access control layer. Okay, so here what is the basic specific characteristics of this unacknowledgement mode? Here that is nothing but provides in sequence delivery of data. What do you mean by that? So here data which received out of sequence, okay, for that cases unacknowledgement mode, that is mode, will provide a in sequence delivery of data. And also this mode is used by error sensitive and error tolerant real-time applications. So can we get some examples of error tolerant application? Is nothing but VoIP, that is voice of internet protocol services. And this unacknowledgement mode is concentrated or operated in the dedicated traffic control channel. We are telling logical channel. There are many number of logical channels, but this mode only operate in the dedicated traffic control channel here. And one more thing is also a speciality in the unacknowledgement mode, that is nothing but dedicated traffic control channel. In this, at the transmit end, what is going to happen in the sense, unacknowledgement mode RLC entity segments the RLC service data unit. Okay, so in the transmit end, what is happening, the unacknowledgement mode, the RLC entity is the, it will segments the RLC service data unit according to the size. So this is very important feature of this unacknowledgement mode, and hope we are very much clear in the transparent mode as well as the unacknowledgement mode. And followed by this, let us see the acknowledgement mode. So in the acknowledgement mode, that is represented by AM. Acknowledgement mode is represented by AM. Here this acknowledgement mode will request the retransmission of missing packet data unit. Actually, it is mixing the data. That is nothing but it will request the retransmission of missing packet data units. And also here also error sensitive and delay tolerant applications are used. And here the channels, that is the logical channel we focused here is dedicated control channel as well as the dedicated traffic control channel. Okay, and in this mode we wanted to see one important, that is nothing but AMD PDU segment. Okay, so this AMD PDU result from the ARQ process, right, and segmentation. Okay, now this ARM, that is AM acknowledgement mode RLC entity needs to retransmit. Okay, that transmitted PDU is called the acknowledgement mode protocol data unit segment. Okay, I think it is very clear here. That RLC entity needs to retransmit. Okay, that time it will transmit the protocol data unit, that is known as what, acknowledgement mode protocol data unit segment. So there is only one difference in the RLC entity here. Unacknowledgement mode RLC entity as well as the acknowledgement mode RLC entity, that is nothing but this acknowledgement mode RLC entity supports the retransmission of RLC data protocol data units. Okay, here the transmitting RLC entity as well as receiving RLC entity is used in the acknowledgement mode. Now RLC receiving RLC entity will send a status protocol data unit to transmitting the RLC entity. Such a way the process is happening in the acknowledgement mode. Whenever the status report, here we mentioned a word that is status report. The status report is nothing but it will tell about the acknowledgement mode protocol data units, whether this acknowledgement mode protocol data unit received successfully and that are detected to be lost. So this type of status will be given by the status protocol data unit. So we are able to distinguish now what is the specific features of transparent mode as well as the unacknowledgement mode as well as the acknowledgement mode. Then let us see the purpose of MAC, it is, and RLC layers. Okay, there are several services and functions of the sub layer, that is RLC sub layer. First we will see here. First it will used for transferring as well as the receiving packet data units. Okay, it's all we know. We have discussed in the starting of this module itself, starting of this topic itself. Here, from where this transferring and receiving happen, that is from the RRC. Okay, that is for the logical channel such as common control channel, or from the PDCP. What do you mean by PDCP? Packet data convergence protocol. That is the first services. The next is the error correction through ARQ. Okay, so when this error correction through ARQ, already in the acknowledgement mode we discussed, acknowledgement mode will support for the ARQ mechanism. So through ARQ mechanism error correction is done. The next is segmentation and reassembly, that is reordering of RLC service data unit. So here we are in unacknowledgement mode, the reordering and segmentation process is taking place. So the combination of all the modes, what are the special services and functions of the RLC sublayer. Then next is the resegmentation. Okay, in acknowledgement mode retransmission and resegmentation is taking place. Okay, then in sequence of delivery. So the major thing of acknowledgement mode and acknowledgement mode is the whenever the data is delivered out of sequence, they will provide the in sequence delivery of application layers. Okay, then duplication. This duplication detection also can be done by the RLC and MAC layer. Then protocol error detection and recovery. Okay, so this protocol error detection by sending the status report, that is status packet protocol data unit, we are going to identify whether the AMD protocol data unit received successfully and also that it can be detected to be lost. Okay, then coming to the services, that is RLC re-establishment technique, then multiplexing and demultiplexing of medium access control service data unit. Then the important thing is mapping between the transport channel and the logical channel. So when we are discussing in the packet data convergence protocol, there is a two-layer structure with robotic ROHC, right? Robustness of the protocol. There we can see easily that RLC entity, then transport channel, then logical channel, all those things. That is a service access point between the logical channels and the transport channels. That is one of the services of the MAC sublayer. Then scheduling. So scheduling for uplink and the downlink transmission. Okay. Then error correction. The error correction automatically we call that hybrid ARQ function as a soft combining, because this ARQ HARQ has the ARQ process as well as the forward error correction process. Then wherever the padding is needed, whenever the MAC PDU is not filled with the data, padding is also done. Okay, the next we will see about the LT. Okay, before going into the PU, that is protocol data unit headers and formats, we wanted to know that LT, that is long-term evaluation, defines the two MAC entities, that is one in the user equipment and another in the E node B. Okay, and functions, what are the functions will be performed like this? In the user equipment, the functions which perform in the user equipment is different, as well as the function performed in the E node is also different. Okay, so these we have seen in the functions and services of MAC layer. Okay, now we'll see the PDU headers and formats. Okay, now PDU headers and formats, that is RLC PDU format, is divided into two categories, that is RLC data PDU and the RLC control PDU. So this is the data format. Here we are seeing that TMD PDU, UMD PDU, AMD PDU, AMD PDU segment. So this is nothing but we know that TMD PDU is nothing but transparent mode protocol data unit. UMD is unacknowledgement mode protocol data unit. AMD is acknowledgement mode protocol data unit, and this is acknowledgement mode protocol data unit segment. But here if you see this transparent mode protocol data unit, there is only, it contains only one data. It does not contain any other RLC header, only data, that we can see clearly in the data. Okay, the next, if we come for the unacknowledgement mode PDU, here we are seeing F5, okay, then E, then SN, then E, then LI. It's like that. Along with the data, these many headers are there. So what do you mean by F5? We will see here. So framing information field. Now here you see, this is the diagram for F5. So this is nothing but framing information field. So what this F5 will indicate? It will indicate whether a RLC service data unit is segmented at the beginning or at the end of the data field. That is the function. Okay, this, it will indicate that whether the RLC service data unit is segmented at the beginning of the data field or at the end of the data field. Then if you come to LI, that is length indicator. Okay, in this length, it will indicate the length in bytes. Okay, for the corresponding data field element. So for this corresponding data field element, it will indicate the length in bytes, that is how many bytes are there in a particular data. What is the length of the data in terms of bytes? Okay, the next, what is E here? E is nothing but extension field. It is called as extension field. That is whether a data field follows a set of E field and LI field. Okay, it will indicate whether the if data field is follows a E field header or a LI field data. Okay, LI field. So now we will see that SN. SN is nothing but sequence, right? In from the starting of that header formats, we are studying SN. It is sequence number. This sequence field, it will see number of corresponding UMD or AMD packet data unit. Okay, so this sequence field is common in both AMD and UMD. It will tell the number of corresponding UMD AMD. For example, in the UMD AMD protocol data unit, 10 bits for AMD PDU. Okay, and AMD PDU segments. Okay, and 5 bits or 10 bits for UMD PDU. Okay, this is here the 10 bits for AMD PDU, and here 5 bits or 10 bits for UMD PDU. Then one more thing is there, sequence. If you see here, PDF sequence, that PDU sequence that is carried by the RLC header independent of SDU sequence. Okay, so these all are the things different. And then comparing with this DC field. Okay, if you see this DC field is different, no, all this both are different. Only in the PDU segment, here it is L and SF is attached here. So we'll see this AMD PDU segment in the further slides. So what I have explained is here. Here now if you come to here, data control. This data control field indicate whether the data is in RLC data field or in RLC control PDU. Okay. Then there is one RF field, that is resegmentation flag. Here whether the RLC PDU is in unacknowledgement or acknowledgement protocol data unit or acknowledgement protocol data unit segment. So it will say whether the RLC PDU is in acknowledgement PDU or it is in acknowledgement mode PDU segment. Okay, there is in the before diagram there is one polling bit, that is P bit. It indicates whether the transmitting side of an acknowledgement mode entity request status report. Okay, whether it is requesting a status report or not, that is called as polling bit. The next we will see RLC header of an acknowledgement mode packet data unit segment contains special field, that is it is mentioned here, that is acknowledgement SN, then E1 NAC. This all we have studied. There are two types of field, that is so start, that is segment offset field, that we are abbreviated as SO field, and another one is lost segment flag, that is LSF field. If you see here, this SO field indicates the position of the AMD PDU segment, okay, in byte, and also within the original AMD PDU. If you go for the last segment flag, it will indicate the last byte of the AMD PDU. Okay. Now here the status PDU is used by the receiving AM RLC entity. In the starting itself we have discussed that status PDU will tell whether it is in the AM RLC entity need the transmitting or the receiving protocol data units. So such a way here it is control PDU that indicates the RLC control and it will release the status PDU, and the extension bit 1, it indicates whether the set of NAC SN, that is in E1 or E2. So extension bit 1 it will follows, or extension bit 2 it will follows. So this will be indicated by this extension bit 1 and 2. Here it is negative acknowledgement field. So what do you mean by negative acknowledgement field? So here it is very clear that it has been the last at the receiving. Already we told that there is a need of giving the status report whether the PDU reached the receiver successfully or it detected as lost. Okay, so that if it is detected as lost, the negative acknowledgement will be progressed. Okay, next one is the SO start field and SO end field. These two fields together will indicate the portions, that is nothing but SN NAC, that is negative acknowledgement, has been detected for lost at the receiving side of the AM RLC entity. So I hope in this overview, this is medium access control and the radio link control. It is the basic features. So for this header file, what it will do, what is the function, that is nothing but the terminologies, basic terminology we have learned here. Hope everyone understand and can differentiate the functions for the respective formats. Thank you so much.